Hey Jamie, what do you think about alocasias? You like them? Yeah? You think they're nice? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a fabulous week, weekend, day, whatever day you're watching this. Today I'm going to talk and show you my alocasia collection. I have not put them in the spotlight in a little while, so I thought I'd do that and talk about some of the care that I do for my alocasias, which could be a little bit controversial compared to what you would usually hear in alocasia care tips, because you know I don't play by the rules. You can see this guy right here, so I think I'll start with this one. This is my alocasia mellow. This guy is really cool. I think he looks like an old man, just because of the wrinkles. I can't believe how much like this one and a few others have come catastrophically down in price, because these guys were an arm and a leg to get, and now they're like not that much at all. I love this one. Such an old man. I think he deserves like an old man name, like, oh, here we go, I'm on the spot now. Something like Harold. He kind of looks like a Harold name, don't you think? Harold? Hello, Harold. How are you doing? Anyway, that is an alocasia Milano. Mellow, you know, one of those. Anyway, down here we have got one of the more alien looking like alocasias, which is the Alocasia caprea or red secret. I love this guy. He is a bit wacky because he's been growing a bit topsy-turvy, but the Alocasia caprea is one of the favorite ones because you can see the front leaf is like this really green, shiny, iridescent purple, and then the back of the leaves is this really deep red, and it has this green vein connected up to it. It's such like contrasting colors. I think it's just such an interesting alocasia. I love it. I might chop its stalks down at one point, do a dramatic chop, pop it in some water and see if roots grow, because I've heard that is the way. Let's move on to a little velvety number. This is, you may guess it, an Alocasia black velvet. We love this goth. He's cool. I've got this like big original chunk that this velvet has come from, and these are just obviously babies corns that are been grown in the pot, and I just kind of leave it. Again, we've kind of got this contrasting reddy back with this green stem, but then the front leaf is gorgeous. If you don't have a black velvet already, this is a one to get, I believe. It's such a nice one, for sure. This isn't like a great representation of this alocasia because it's cosmetically not looking great, which is fine. But this one is indeed my favorite out of all of the alocasias. The Alocasia Frederick. It's half a leaf. Yeah, don't ask questions, but it's fine. It's grown a new leaf. This is Frederick. It has to be one of my favorites. I don't know why. Maybe just because of like it's so velvety, and the veins pop right off, and I don't know, there's just something about it that I really love. There's just like something about the Frederick, however you want to say it, is one of the amazing ones. I love it so much. This guy hiding over here, this is the Alocasia Syrian. He's very tall. I'm not going to move the whole point. He's literally like as tall as me. I'm leaning him over from the ground right now. It always produces these massive leaves. This one's a bit smaller than its last one, but it never fails me with what leaves it produces. The Alocasia Syrian is a cross between the Frederick and a Alocasia Sabrina, as it has the Sabrina-like stem, and then it has the Frederick kind of veins, but less velvety. But it's still this darker alocasia, and it's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Okay, moving on to a kind of a more unusual. This is my Aloccasia aurora. It has this kind of interesting variegation where it's kind of not like your classic variegation, but it kind of, I don't know, it just kind of like merges on the leaves. This is, the variegation has kind of disappeared from the leaves. I don't know if it's reverted itself, which it might have, which is okay. It might come back, it might not. But nevertheless, it's a really, really pretty alocasia, and it's starting to make some roots on the bottom there. And yeah, it's got a new leaf coming as well. It does very nice work. Roots are like bursting through its own leaf. No wonder why this leaf is dying. What are you doing to yourself? It's like carnage. See, it's going to make a corn as well. Interesting. Maybe the corn will be more aurora-like. But yeah, I really love this. Isn't that cool? An alocasia I got from a swap, which was an Aloccasia fradic, a variegated Aloccasia fradic. And the first leaf, it had like a very small variegation on it, and the second leaf, which was this one, hardly had any variegation at all, except from like at the bottom. But its new leaf has now actually got some variegation, so I'm hoping it's kept its variegation and it's going to produce some more beautiful variegated leaves. I can't tell you how happy I will be if it does, because an Aloccasia variegata fradic, I'm saying it the wrong way, but it has been my absolute dream to have one because I just love the fradic so much. So having a variegated one is just a miracle, dream come true, made a wish foundation kind of vibe. Like, I love it. So I've now put it more in light to try and keep the variegation and to tell it to not lose it. Send prayers. But yeah, it's cool. Another Aloccasia I have got here is my Aloccasia dragon scale. I've had this on for quite a long time now. Again, it's like doing this thing where I might like chop it down and try to pop it in water and see if it grows that way. Throwing a pup out to the side, and I'm kind of just leaving them like that now. But I love the dragon scale, has the silver effect. This could actually be a silver dragon scale, hence why it's so silvery. I had the two. They're kind of hard to distinct with each other. I know I don't have one of them, so I can't compare it. But maybe this is the silver dragon scale because of how silvery blue it is. So I'm going to say that, and not just the normal dragon scale. Again, this is one that was like so sought after at the time, and now like I feel like this poor guy's almost forgotten about them, you know? I don't see as much hype in them as they were before, annoyingly. But yeah, this one's the silver dragon. And I've got one more to show you, and I'm going to tell you about my care for alocasias. So this alocasia, you may know what this is, and this is an Aloccasia zebrina. It is so tall, it's so beautiful. Again, one I feel like not a lot of people think about anymore, and I feel like they're a bit overlooked these days, which is really sad. So I rescued this one a long time ago. And it's been with me ever since. I think it's got to be about, let's say, 6 years, maybe 6 years I've had this. It hasn't really sized up from this size of a pot, which I know could be really hard to comprehend, and the fact it's still producing massive leaves like this. Thanks, Jam. Like, this leaf is huge. Look at this, you know, it's massive, and for a small pot as well. But yeah, this is beautiful. I love the zebrina. Let's talk about care, and we'll talk about it with this one being in the limelight because it deserves to be, and everybody should reconsider buying one of these. Those are beautiful. So let's talk about care. Watering. Now, this is where I might be the controversial kind of waterer for an alocasia. Now, they tend to grow on the floors. Try and say that quickly. They tend to grow on forest floors, so they kind of are a bit in the more moister side. But I swear to God, hand on heart, you know, whatever, I let my alocasias dry out completely in between watering before I water them again. And when I water them again, I soak them, like I drench the hell out of them. So I let them dry out and then I give them a massive water. And that has just been the best success story for me. Trying to keep them moist at all times has more or less led to rotting for me. I know a lot of people won't agree with me, but I kind of got proof in the pudding here that these guys are thriving with this kind of watering. Especially, like, I found Sabrina and the Syrian way more tolerant at being dried out compared to the other ones. And I also, you know, they will give telltale signs if they're really, really thirsty. With light conditions, again, thinking about them on the forest floor, they are getting filtered light through tree canopies and stuff. So I kind of tend to have them, so you're sat in the windowsill right now and I get the sun throughout the day going past like this, and I tend to keep mine alocasias, as you can see, this far. So what's that, like 2 or 3 feet back from the window? Another thing I've learned with alocasias is that keeping them upright can be a bit of a problem. If you've got a really nice bright sunny windowsill like I've got, having your alocasias on the floor below your windowsill, so they're growing up towards your windowsill, keeps them upright. Like this guy is below and it's really straight in comparison, you know, needs a bit of a stake, but like it's really straight because only the leaves are kind of are peaking at the windowsill level, if that makes sense. So I found that kind of little trick with it, and you know, a good example is probably like how this one, because it was a bit of a higher position, it was out of the way, it was reaching over like this, hence like this crazy kind of trailing off. But since I've put it on the floor and the leaves are at the level of the windowsill, it is gone upright. But other than that, I find alocasias really easy. I'm having success, as you can see, with just a really nice airy compost mix that I use for the majority of my plants, just absolutely full of stuff and things to keep the compost mix and free draining, and they just love it. That's what they do the best in, I found, and I stick to my guns on that and keep using what I do. So this is just a little video of my alocasias plus some little care tips from me. Take it or leave it, I don't mind. And if you've got any other interesting things about alocasias, tips and tricks like I have with them growing straight, let me know in the comments. I'll be interested to hear them, and I'll see you on the next time, me lovers. Goodbye. Mwah. You gonna say bye? Say bye.